Hey, it's Tommy V live from Grand Isle, Louisiana, Roadside. It's been a little tough on the roadside. It got to get a little cold for it to get good, and it got cold. And yesterday, that crazy west wind came in and they turned to the north. And when the wind turns to the north, leave those bridges alone. Get on the deepest places you can on the roadside. You can find 7 feet, 8 feet, 10 feet, like where I'm at. And that's where you got to get you're gonna find the trout gathered up, and that's when it's easier to catch them, of course, is when they gathered up. Today they wanted the swim bait jigging. I started off jigging it, and that's an overcast swim bait. You can see one of the eyes is missing. I caught probably 20. I don't like to get more than that. I don't want to be greedy. I left them biting, but I caught them on the 1/4 ounce or an 1/8 ounce jig head. And that's a death grip jig head. It holds that jig on there well. You can see if I caught that many fish on one bait. So it lasts a long time. I use a 7-foot Zook rod, my handmade, custom made rod that's red, white, and blue. America made. And the trout were on fire. They were all up in that hole. You can see my stringer right here. See if I can get down low. Some pretty fish. They still alive. I got about 20 on there. Pretty trout. There's no small ones on there. They're all about 14 to 16, 18 inches. Got a couple big ones in there. But that's what it's all about. LA1, Grand Isle. From Fushon to Grand Isle, you just, like I said, you have to find you got to find the right spots. You got to find the places that have a lot of water, because the tide is out. As you can see, the roadside right here, you see all them shells, that's usually underwater. So there's no water like in the normal places that you would think that people go and kayak and fish in the shallow water. There's no water in there. It's dry. On some of these ditches, it's dry. So you got to be in these pits when it's cold. They gather up, they get out the shallow water because it gets cold, the shallow water, and they get into deep water 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 feet down. So be careful of the private property, but one place called the Forbidden Hole. They got this lake I'm in here. There's several places. Got a drag line right behind me over there. See that drag line? That's where I'm at, in that pit by that drag line. So that's where I caught them today. I don't catch them here a lot, but when it gets cold, real cold, they getting out that shallow. So Tommy V reporting. Is supposed to be real cold tonight. So if you're coming out for the weekend, just remember the Forbidden Hole. I wouldn't fish any bridges unless you're trying to catch redfish. The redfish are everywhere. There's a lot of rat reds everywhere. But if you're trying to catch trout, you need a swim bait, and you need to move it really, really slow. Slower than you ever thought you needed to. That's the key, is slow movement. And sometimes I barely felt that tap, and I'd reel down on them. I really wouldn't set the hook. I just reel down and they'd suck it in. So it was an awesome. I only been out here since 12, and it's probably 2 o'clock. So I caught 20 of them in 2 hours, hour and a half, and I'm done. I don't like to catch more than that. That's more than I need. So Grand Isle, Louisiana, on the right. Cold days when you think it's miserable and you should be duck hunting, you probably should be fishing on the roadside on LA1 in the deepest water you can find. With twitch baits are working well too, but I just wanted to use my swim bait. My friend told me they wasn't biting on a twitch bait, so I went out with a swim bait in the same place right here and caught them. It's Tommy V reporting live from Grand Isle, Louisiana. Please subscribe and share with your friends if you're not a subscriber. And we're going to have some great action coming up in the spring and the summer. So stay tuned. Live from Grand Isle, Louisiana. It's the first time I'm live on YouTube. So let's see if I can finish this up.